Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 27th, 2017 meeting of the Delhi Township Board of Trustees. I'll begin tonight by just saying that Trustee Sturts has the flu, so Trustee Oswald and I will be doing the double duty routine for the evening, so bear with us. As is our usual process, we will begin first with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight's moment of silence goes out to the loss of two elder high school educators. The Purple Panther Nation took a rough week this week. They lost both Madonna Railing, and I do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Mr. Mark Klusman. Madonna passed away on December the 17th and survived by her husband, Ken, son Andrew, and granddaughter Sophia. Mark Klusman passed away yesterday after being struck by a hit-and-run driver on December the 9th. He was not only a teacher, but a community fixture on the West Side. Our thoughts and prayers go out to both of these families and the community as they mourn the loss of two great contributors to the Purple Panther Nation. We'll begin now with the Pledge of Allegiance.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Luby, let's have the approval of the minutes, please.
Motion 2017-251, approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting held on December 13th, 2017, and dispense with the reading.
I move motion 2017-251.
I second the motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes.
Motion 2017-252, approve bills for payment.
I move motion 2017-252.
I second the motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes.
Motion 2017-253, approve the payment of overtime for pay period ending December 19th, 2017.
I move motion 2017-253.
I second the motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. A report from the fiscal officer, Mr. Luby.
Resolution 2017-316, resolution approving purchase order obligations incurred on behalf of the township by the township administrator, authorizing payment of certain purchase order obligations and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading? Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-317, resolution amending appropriations for expenses and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Cameron?
Yes, this appropriation amendment is to put enough money into the self-insurance fund to pay the claims that we got reported Friday, so this should balance that out for the year. We were hoping we wouldn't have to do that, but that's what this one's for.
Okay.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-318, resolution making appropriation of funds for expenditures during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2018, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Mr. Luby, significant transactions, please.
For significant transactions since last meeting on 12/21, we did get a $45,000 cash receipt, primarily from the local government fund and the permissive motor vehicle license tax. On 12/27, we received $12,000 from gasoline tax. And on 12/27, we received $18,000, which was grant money from Hamilton County Engineers relating to the 2017 street rehabilitation program. As far as cash disbursements, on 12/14, we had a payroll of $258,000. We had a payment to custom designed benefits for $47,000 for health insurance claims. Payment to the Ohio Police and Fire pension for $55,000. OPERS for $86,000. And a check to Highland for $97,000 for our liability insurance. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Luby. Trustees' correspondence. Trustee Oswald?
I do. First, I did receive a very nice thank you email from Eric West. He is the Delhi Athletic Association president. He was very congratulative of the parks and what you're doing, Josh. So good work. As for my remarks, I have them prepared, so I will read them to you. I'd like to share my sincere gratitude for my time as a trustee for the last 4 years. It has been an honor and privilege to serve the citizens of Delhi Township. My only agenda was to make Delhi Township the best possible community for our families. During my tenure, the police officers were increased to 32, designated officers to focus on drug investigations, and a park resource officer was added. A new fire station was built, and the full-time, part-time firefighters were recognized and rebalanced. The parks were significantly improved with reduced rental fees for Delhi organizations, eliminated the rent for the seniors. To access the community center, instituted open fishing, repaved Delhi Park, acquired additional property for future park development, and saw more events and concerts. Additionally, there was a continued focus on economic development with a plan the Pike. An economic development manager was hired, and the zoning code was updated from over 40 years ago. A community investment corporation was created, TIF districts were expanded for longer period, energy aggregation was instituted for the township, and the relationship with Mount St. Joseph University was restored. A few of you may know that I like to play golf, and I love golf because you learn a lot about yourself and others. When someone hits a bad shot, the way they react, or if they hit a good shot. Many people think of golf as an individual sport, but it's not. When you hear Jordan Spieth speak, he frequently says we, because golf is a team sport with his coach, caddy, agent, family, and friends. Politics is very similar and is actually a team sport, not an individual contest. It's a fascinating arena, and not only do you learn about yourself, but you also see many others' true character. And I would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for the support of my parents, siblings, in-laws, friends, and most importantly, my family, and my wife, Allie, who has always sacrificed her own schedule to accommodate mine for the last 4 years. Everything was always put back in perspective when I'd come home and I'd see Allie, Bella, and Robert. A great team has been created in Delhi Township. I won't mention every person, but the ones I worked with most have made my job a lot easier. Ron, you asked me 4 years ago if I cared more about people or numbers. I'd like to think that I've proven that you can do both very well. The reality is Delhi Township does not have the same budget as other townships, but we need to make sure that our department heads and administrators are competitive so we retain them and we don't have constant turnover. Only Ron and Jim are in the same position as when I took office 4 years ago. We all know the issue Delhi faces in the future. I know that Cheryl and Rose share my vision and will execute on it. To Mary Jane, Cheryl, Rose, and Jim, it has been a pleasure serving with you, and with my sincere gratitude, thank you again for allowing me to serve Delhi Township.
Somewhat out of order, Rose and I planned our own goodbye and thank yous to follow at the end of the meeting. So after I compose myself from that, we'll continue with trustees' correspondence, and then at the end, Rose and I have a few words to extend to Will. From Rose, trustees' correspondence, this is a reminder that New Year's Eve is not an approved holiday for fireworks. The fireworks are still illegal. So those of you who live near Tahoe, just remember we have your address, and please don't shoot off fireworks again. So that's from Rose, and mine actually comes via Facebook because there was a posting from the Green Township about the recycling program that caused a lot of questions back to me about Delhi's position with recycling. And although we've been through this for the last 4 years, Maybe it's time that we have a little refresh on our course of recycling in Delhi. I'm going to turn this now to Mr. Cameron to give you where we've been and what we see as our future with recycling for those of you who took an interest in sending that to me.
I can tell you that maybe 4 months ago, Trustee Seavey you had asked me to look into what Green Township had just gotten in place with Rumpke, which was to all the Rumpke customers in Green Township, they were going to do recycling pickup alongside that at no charge. So we had looked into that. Mr. Torbeck and Mr. Ryan do a lot with the recycling efforts. And what we came to find out was Green Township, because they have significantly more households percentage-wise using Rumpke, it's more than 80%, and because they have a lot more households than we do in general, they double, almost triple how many customers are using Rumpke in Green Township. So what I came to realize was Rumpke could put off Green Township actually bidding the service out by doing something like this for their current customers, and that was great for them and great for Green Township, and it worked for Rumpke. When we looked, and we had the Rumpke local government representative come in to talk to him about this, it was clear that we didn't have the same numbers. We only have roughly just over 50% that use Rumpke, and that's significantly less customers using Rumpke. So the numbers weren't there for them to extend the same type of offer. We have the other 50 or so percent using Bestway. So Rumpke and Bestway seem to compete very well for Delhi's business. And that keeps Rumpke somewhat at bay from doing anything with the pricing. I think it helps the competition. So the other item we talked about, and I know it had been talked about here, and I've deployed it in the past at other places and talked about possibly deploying it, which is that overall bid by the township or local government unit to bring economies of scale, to bring better pricing, better service, more control of the trucks on the streets. And it didn't seem that would behoove us here because Bestway is keeping Rumpke at bay, and unfortunately they don't provide recycling. So lesson learned, I think, and Mr. Ryan and Trustee Sturts were in the meeting with the Rumpke representative. It seems to me that the residents are getting the best deal they can with the current situation. Rumpke is significantly farther away from Delhi than Green Township, so logistically it's going to cost them a lot more to send their trucks over. So the free recycling doesn't work for Rumpke for Delhi, unfortunately. As we talk about from time to time, the one thing Delhi has done is they provide the recycling containers at the community senior center. That is how we help accommodate the recycling need and maybe lack of pickup or just a benefit to residents that you don't need to pay for the home recycling. So that's been done, and I know you've talked about the bidding the service out before, but it would seem that would maybe be counterproductive to what pricing people already are getting. So I don't know, does that help answer the question or give you the backdrop of why Green's getting that and Delhi's not in the running too?
What I think I would like to say is the reason we don't have it is not because we haven't tried to get it. And I think that's the important piece that our residents need to understand. But logistically, it doesn't work out between ourselves and Rumpke, who at this time is the only recycling group in the area. And because our residents are 50-50 between the two competing disposal companies, we don't have the leverage that to even offer Rumpke, and Rumpke's facilities are too far away to, I guess, for their own benefit, to do it in Delhi. So our best option is to continue to offer to you the free recycling bins located at the senior center. and to review with all of you again the rules on recycling, on what is a recyclable item and what is not, and to please refrain from sitting those items, either recyclable or not recyclable, outside of the bins. And in 2018, instead of only one cleanup day, I believe we've now completed scheduling 2 cleanup days. So we'll have 2 thorough cleanup days of Delhi in 2018 and the recycling bins at the senior center. But to the residents who inquired about the recycling, it's not that we haven't looked into it, it's that we've been rejected by the recycling company itself, correct?
Yeah, they are protecting their interest in Green Township, and they don't have the same level of need to protect in Delhi, so they will not extend that here, yes.
Thank you. Well, that's all we have for trustees' correspondence. So, Mr. Luby, I go back to you for administration.
Resolution 2017-319, resolution appointing financial advisory board and amending and restating the organizational structure and responsibilities and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-320, resolution establishing pay rates during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2018, and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-321, resolution entering into consulting agreement with Focused Capital Solutions LLC through December 31st, 2018, and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-322, resolution entering into consulting agreement with Bethesda Healthcare, Inc. to provide various corporate health services, including well-being and fitness, and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-323, resolution authorizing and entering into a replacement healthcare services agreement with the Christ Hospital, DBA the Christ Hospital Health Network, in replacement of the agreement authorized by Resolution 2017-240 in connection with the provision of certain self-insured group health benefits for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver all necessary documents, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Following the agenda, I have nothing from Parks and Rec, correct? Okay. Community Development, Mr. DeLong.
Resolution 2017-324, resolution certifying violation abatement expenses at 1032 Beach Meadow Lane to the county auditor for assessment, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of our repeat offenders. The assessment on this project, along with administrative costs, will be $1,326.34. I did look at the auditor's record. There's still an outstanding payment from earlier this year that we filed for about $800. So this property just seems to keep adding on, but it is one of our repeat properties in the township.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2017-325, resolution certifying violation abatement expenses at 5417 Canis Drive to the county auditor for assessment and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Yeah, this was a first-time offender. This was both for debris and excessive vegetation. The cost of the assessment is $635.22. So this, like I said, is just a first-time offender on this one, and there is no outstanding payments we're waiting on from them. So
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes. All right, Public Works, Mr. Ripperger.
Resolution 2017-326, resolution approving change order number 1 to the contract with Barrett Paving Materials, Inc. for the Delhi Township Street Rehabilitation and Repair Project 2017-A and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Ripperger?
Thank you, trustees. This is something that varies every year. Just for example, last year we were over our contract amount by a little bit. A lot of it just is the unknown of the road and revolves around full depth repairs. And this year the roads that we did just weren't real problematic under the surface. So that's where the majority of the savings came from.
So the change was in our favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I move to dispense with second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Motion 2017-254, accept the resignation of full-time public works service worker 1, Zachary D. Mink, effective December 26, 2017.
I move motion 2017-254.
I second the motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion
Before-
passes.
Before you move on, I thought it might be worth Ron mentioning, we've had a second service worker resign. So they're going to be doing some hiring or interviewing, and we'll have 2 to hire. And if we have a retirement, that might be a third person to hire. So I thought it might be worth making sure you're aware that's going to be going on in the next.
And do we have that information posted on the website?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and with direction on how to apply?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. All right, so anyone interested in working for a public works department, check the website. There is a job application available, correct?
Yes. Busy time of year, that's for sure.
Oh, busy time. Yes, I guess it is. Great time to lose hands. Police department, still no agenda. Fire department, nothing. Citizens' comments? I have nothing. Mr. Luby, do you have anything?
Nope. Just community events.
I'm sorry. Trustee Pappas from Anderson, did you have a?
May I make a comment?
Absolutely.
Time clock, because that might be a while.
Yes, we do. It's a 5-minute limit. And to everyone,
gets
this is Trustee Andrew Pappas from Anderson Township. He's just not familiar with Delhi rules.
Well, I will tell you, first of all, it's wonderful being out here in the floral paradise of Ohio, Delhi Township. But I came out tonight because obviously it's Will's last night. And first of all, the relationship, I think, between Anderson Township and Delhi Township has really gotten pretty good over the last 4 years, at least in my eyes. And that's because of the people that are here. And one of those people is Will. And I just wanted to come out in support of Will tonight and say what a pleasure it's been. We've worked together on a lot of things, and we will continue to. And I just wanted to wish him the best in this next chapter of his life and hope that we continue to work together for all the causes that we share. And I just wanted to say like I said, just express our support for the work that you have done and will continue to do. And hopefully the relationship will continue to grow between Anderson and Delhi, although we're not particularly close, as I experience driving out here. I will say that we share a lot of the same values, and your meetings, it is interesting being here. For the same exact form of government, the meetings are completely different. But it's enjoyable being here, and Will, my best to you. Congrats. Thank you for the job that you have done, and your wonderful family. And I look forward to continued relationship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Pappas from Anderson.
That's all I got.
Okay, Mr. Luby, do you have community events? We're having a guest. Come on up, Robert. Come on.
The Delhi Township Christmas Tree Recycling Program is Tuesday, January 2nd through Tuesday, January the 9th. It's from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's at Floral Paradise Gardens at 461 Greenwell Avenue, and it's free and open to the public. The Delhi Historical Society Program, Caring for Historic Photos, is Monday, January 8th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be at the Delhi Park Lodge at 5125 Foley Road. The 17th Citizens Police Academy, Thursday, January 25th through Thursday, April the 12th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's at the Delhi Administration Building at 934 Neeb Road. The DCPA and the DPHA Mardi Gras Dinner Dance is Saturday, February 10th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's at the Meadows at 59 East Main Street on Cleves-Warsaw Pike. That's all I have.
Okay, now I'm going to attempt to say goodbye. So, first off, Will, thank you for your contributions to this community. During your tenure as trustee, you can look back with pride on the accomplishments Delhi has made in your past 4 years. To start with, we replaced that old fire station, and we've hired more police officers, and we finally have a dedicated department to the economic future of Delhi. We set those goals in the beginning, and we saw them to the end. Your insight at executive session was wonderful. I wish all the residents had had an opportunity to know and appreciate the value that you have been. You're a good friend, you're a great father, and a husband. Please stay with us in Delhi. We look forward to your future. That one's from me.
Thank you.
And from our sick one, from Rose. Will, I am sorry I can't be with you tonight to say this in person. I will greatly miss you on the board. I have appreciated your candid views. Input and ability to see the big picture for the betterment of Delhi. Your legal perspective in executive session has always been a benefit to the township and to me. I look forward to continuing working with you at the Kiwanis events. I wish you and your adorable family a blessed and healthy 2018. And that's from Rose Sturts.
Thank you.
Fiscal Officer Luby?
Well, while serving with you over the last 4 years, you taught me what a trustee should be in the future. Someone who participates in organizations throughout the township, someone who participates in the events of the township, but most of all, the decisions you made, you put the township first. And I hope you continue to be active within the township in various organizations because I think you have a great deal to offer. But to me, the best example of you putting the township first was your role in Plan to Pike. You saw the need for economic development. You didn't bury your head in the sand and think, let somebody else take care of it. And because of that, now we have a plan that we can try to implement over the next 20 years. And like I said before, I enjoyed serving with you. You set the example for someone who sits on this board. I'll miss working with you and wish you success in everything you do.
Thank you, bro.
All right. All right, then for the last time, we'll begin with an adjournment of this meeting.
With no further business, I move to adjourn the meeting.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. That was fun.